All right, hello. I'm just making this video on the topic of sending mail for 3 cents, and I'm going to keep this as short as I can. I'll get right into showing some evidence that this works, and I just mailed this letter to a friend of mine as a test last week, and this is the picture of it I took right before I dropped it in my mailbox right outside my house, just like normal. And then I had my friend take a picture of it after he received it. And you can see it's the same exact letter. And they stamped it with some happy holidays, I think, and like some Santa Claus stamp. And you can see, I think it says like Pensacola something. And I thought it's funny, they stamped a zip code on, which is his zip code, but I sent it without a zip code, so I guess they just stamped that on probably at the Pensacola facility for the rest of their system to be able to route it to that zip code area easier. And this is a 3-cent stamp. And I'll show you what I did here is I'll have a link to this Google slideshow in the description. So if anyone wants to try it, it'll be easier for you to just copy exactly what I've done and maybe print it on an envelope yourself. Like I just put this in a printer and printed directly on an envelope, but you could just write it out. And if you do any searching about this topic, you'll find a lot of different formats. But again, mostly this video is just to show that this literally worked for me my first try. Put it in the mailbox just like normal, except I'm only using a 3-cent stamp. And I do suggest you really learn what these things mean, though. Even before you do this, I mean, it's probably going to work for you just fine, but you should really know what you're doing. So this Book 12, Statutes at Large, these 3 lines here are really just referring to this document you can get that covers an old session of Congress. And I'm linking directly to it from here so you can go there. And basically it is right here, and it's not a huge document, but it does contain with it a mention that all the post office employees and all the people employed in handling mail, that they take an oath to basically do their best to deliver the mail. So what that's really saying is if postman sees this 3-cent stamp on here and he's not aware of their obligation to deliver it to where it's going, then this is kind of a reminder of his oath, is all this is, these last 3 lines here. You can look up the rest of the stuff yourself. And here's a really brief example of, or not, an explanation of the address format. So do CO for care of, and then the address. Well, first of all, I should mention the name. Duh. Basically, you're sending this letter from not a corporation, but rather from a we the people. So from one of the we the people to another one of the we the people. Now, these are very specific terms. If you don't know what I'm saying, I suggest you look them up. And there are no last names at common law. So I put another line here for family name. And of course, you'll put what you've been calling your last name in here, and the postman will will read that as last name, but it's technically your family name. And so the significant part for the address here is that you don't put abbreviations. So if any part of your address has like north or south, don't put N or S. Put, spell it out, north, south, spelled out. No AVE for avenue, just spell out avenue. And I'm not completely sure about this, but I heard someone in a YouTube video say that the abbreviations are actually copyrighted or trademarked by what we call the post office today, which is the U.S. Postal Service, which is a corporation right now. And I haven't confirmed that that's true, but again, I used this format and it worked for me the first time. And then here's an example of the city and state, again, fully spelled out. Non-domestic, and this is something you should really learn about yourself too. Basically, domestic means that it's in the jurisdiction of the District of Columbia, which is not America. And so this is just further clarification. So the without the United States is really just further clarification of the mention of non-domestic. So they can't really, this can't really be misunderstood. Some people doing this would put like zip code exempt and not have this on here, but I felt like this was a lot more precise. And of course, it implies that it's zip code exempt because without the District of Columbia, there's no such thing as a zip code. And yes, it is a 3-cent stamp. And I took a picture of a little sheet of 3-cent stamps I bought at my local post office. This sheet cost me 60 cents. And you get 20 stamps for 60 cents. So I really wanted to really drive this point home and show you that, I mean, a whole small sheet, 60 cents. You can't even get 2 normal stamps for 60 cents. So think about it. Why not do this? And you can pause the video and read this. Just a little brief explanation of why it's 3 cents. And again, the most important thing here is learn, teach yourself. All of this stuff is readily available in old documents and a lot of other people talking about it. So I suggest starting with these search terms here. Send mail for 3 cents. United States is a corporation. Zip code jurisdiction. And just some more motivation to try it. And what a great way to red pill a friend. I'm sure a lot of people that are looking into interesting things have some friends that are always kind of just brushing them off when they bring up, off the beaten path things, and they're just not really ever wanting to discuss interesting things. But I think this is one good way to maybe get someone interested in a lot of these strange truths that are really out there. So I'll end the video here, and here's again the proof. Before postman picked it up and when it arrived. And this went from Florida to Wisconsin. Took the normal time, 3 days. So again, get out there, try it. Maybe put a comment in this video if it works, or if you have any problems, or if you have any other insights into this topic. All right, thanks for watching.